Hey everyone, Piano Man Chuck here. I've got a special guest with me today. This is Dave Bryce. We've got the Crumar 7 here with us. So Dave, take it away.
Chuck, glad to be here. Appreciate you taking the time. Hi, everybody. As Chuck said, I am Dave Bryce. I work with Crumar and GSI. And this is the 7. It's Crumar's physical modeling electric piano. Obviously, it's meant to have a very vintage look. You can see it looks like an old suitcase 73 sort of thing. It does, in fact, have a top that closes over the top and you can pick it up. But it only weighs about 30 pounds, which is like ridiculously cool. Underneath, you can see that we have 4 legs. The legs fit up in the top, and you can just take the whole thing and go. Basically, the thing is more than a Rhodes, though. What Crumar was after was to give you a Rhodes for sure and a Wurlitzer and every electric piano that pretty much you would want for any kind of a gig application. I want to start out taking a listen to the Rhodes. That's the basic Rhodes by itself. This is modeling. But now we're going to use the front panel to add some things to customize the sound. The first thing I want to do is add a phaser. Ooh, that sounds so nice when the stereo comes in. Now you're wondering what's happening over here. You can see obviously that the phaser, there's the rate of the phaser, but how do you control the depth? If you pop that knob real gently, you notice the knob changed colors. And when I turn it, it also changes colors to reflect the value. So now you have a more intense phaser, less depth like that. Pop a channel, there's the rate. You can change that. So actually, the knobs will show you at an immediate glance what's going on inside the instrument. Okay, so we'll leave the phaser on. Add a little bit of reverb over here. Same deal, multiple levels. First of all, you have reverb level. And then the decay here, so you can get longer reverb. A little too long for me, I would peel that back some. Turn the level down some. Now we're going to add a little amp simulation. Really brings a lot of life to the instrument. That's basically what the Rhodes sounds like. Messed with a little bit. Sorry, I got distracted. Now we're going to go over to the Whirly. Wurlitzers already have a bunch of stuff on it. The amp drive is on. You can hear there's a trem going on, reverb going on, and I want to turn chorus on. Good for Steely Dan. Nice amount of bark to it. Turn up the amp drive a little bit. Also, it's very authentic in that, see, Wurlitzer stop at the A.
So it cuts out. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It cuts out exactly the way it's supposed to. The people who design this are sticklers for authenticity in that respect. Yeah, man, it's a good thing. The next sound down the line would be the Electric Grand, the old Yamaha. There you go. That's another one that wants chorus. Has that beautiful funk on the bottom. Good for Peter Gabriel songs.
Yeah.
Playing Purple Rain and stuff. Of course, you got to have clav. People are wondering, does the clav stop at the right place? Yes, it does. One note short.
Yeah.
Chorus on again. That one wants amp. And maybe a little bit of wah-wah. lot of fun.
Yeah, get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Also, clavinets, you have tabs on a D6 that are duplicated right here on the front panel by holding down the dedicated clavi tabs button. And you can see you have brilliant, treble, medium, soft, and the ability to change from the C to D pickup and the A to B pickup also. So you actually have the ability to totally customize this thing. You can actually do some more deep diving. We'll get into that in a moment. The remaining 4 sounds, the old DX7. The 80s. The other big piano in the 80s and late 90s was the Roland MKS-20 and RD-1000. That's in here as well. Roland's SA, Structural Adaptive Synthesis, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but it's not SA synthesis, that's just modeling, of course. Seventh sound is Vibes. Oops. Once again,
Yes, the authenticity.
we've run out of... The last sound is an acoustic piano. This is a brand new acoustic piano that wasn't in the instrument when it first shipped, which is interesting. The firmware and the brains of this thing can be updated. Crumar is constantly working on this instrument, and they added a half a gig acoustic piano to this thing. A little bit of EQ on it, and just a touch of reverb. I'll just turn it off so you can hear the thing by itself. Now I've knocked the phone off. Why is the phone sitting on the piano? Did I forget? I'm hoping I would get a phone call. Actually, there's a little bit more under the hood from this that I want to tell you about now. In addition to the 8 sounds that we have in here, it looks like there's very limited control, but the phone delivers a whole lot more power. If you go and take your phone or any iOS device, go to connect to Wi-Fi, you'll see the 7 shows up as a possible destination. So you light up the 7. So you take your phone, go over to your browser, and all of a sudden you have the ability to totally control the brains, from selecting all the modeled instruments to sampled versions of the instruments. You can then get in and edit. For example, we're editing the Venice Grand piano now. We have the ability to add parameters like level, attack, release, filter, the piano harp, sample levels, pedal levels. All the effects can be edited, and all these can be stored. So you have total control over customizing, the ability to customize the sounds using any iOS device. Now, before you're wondering if somebody in the audience can like sign on to your piano and edit it, no, it's password protected, so don't worry about that. Anyway, the only other thing I want to talk about is while we're talking about what to do with these sounds that you customize. I did show you that there were 8 of them there. However, there's also a bank button that lets you shift. Bank 2, Bank 3, and Bank 4 give you each another 8 slots where you can put any custom program, and they don't have to follow the same slots as the first level. The first level you can't overwrite. You push tines, you get the Rhodes. You push clavi, you get the clav. But if you're on Banks 2, 3, or 4, anything can be in any of these slots. So you can set this thing up in any way that you want. One other thing I want to show you is the last knob. The last knob, pad level, adds a pad under any of the pianos. So if we turn that on, there we go. Let's turn it up. Real soft, stringy pad. Change to the second level. Change the quality of the sound. Now notice, at no time during that did any voices cut out, and I didn't take my foot off the sustain pedal. So, add a little bit of chorus to that. Beautiful sound. Actually, that's even more interesting. We go chorus, phaser, flanger, delay. Ooh. There you go.
So you have unlimited editability with this. This is
Absolutely.
pretty amazing.
You can't really tell by looking at it how deep you can dive. But for the most experienced synthesizer programmer, and/or musician who expects to be able to tailor the sounds the way they want, this thing is just as deep as they would expect, if not even a little bit more deep. Plus, it can be customized so that based on feedback from users, based on the things that are happening in the field at any point in time, Crumar can decide that they want to customize and change the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool.
Now, when you do edits on this and you save it, it's saved on the piano, but can you also save it on your iOS device too? So
You use the iOS device to save it to the piano. There's not a separate set of banks or anything. And what that'll look like is if I'm holding down, let's say that piano sound I just made, I want to keep that because I think that's really nice. Basically, what I can do is hold down, let's say this button right here, and as I hold it down, you just saw what happened. It's stored there. So there's the piano by itself, and now there's the sound that I just customized. That easily. There's also another button that allows you to transpose, of course. But that's basically it. The controls, once again, to go over them briefly, the volume control, reverb, which gives you level and decay. Then there's a 4-band EQ, bass, treble, and mid-low and mid-high frequencies. Over here we have the depth and rate controls for tremolo, panning, auto wah, and pedal wah. Next you have the amp, sim, and drive controls, and once again, using the phone, you can edit the daylights out of the amp, what type of amp it is, what's happening in there, of course. The second set of FX is where you get your modulation-based effects, chorus, phaser, flanger, and your delay as well. The two levels of editing are depth and rate, and then lastly, the pad control. The only other thing I want to show you physically is where the jack field panel is. It's over on the side. So it's really easy to get to. Over here you have stereo outputs, you have USB in and out, and ins for your pedals. And on the other side, they put a little panel that hides an area underneath the hood where you can stick your pedals and your power cord and a couple other things. Yeah, well, you can't get the legs in there. That would be cool if you could get the legs.
That would
in
be
there.
cool.
There is one other aspect of this that we can't really, I can talk about, but we can't really demonstrate. The Crumar guys went out of their way to make sure that the sound engine in this was really in harmony with the keyboard, the feel of the keyboard. When you sit down and play this instrument, it makes your hands so happy. It's the feel that they expect from these instruments, which is a rare and beautiful thing when it happens.
So you've got a connection there that few keyboards have been able to accomplish.
Sure, it's an important thing. As a keyboard reviewer and enthusiast, one of the things that I like to do sometimes when I get a keyboard that I really like the way the feel connects to the engine is to cross-connect it with a different similar keyboard. So if I get an 88 in from like Nordin, I'll cross-connect it with one of my Kurzweils just to see how the keyboards from each one play with the different engines. And it's always different, which is really surprising when I tell that to people. It's not just, people will ask, well, what key bed did you put in? It's more than that.
Right.
It's the total system and the way that the system is harmonized to work with each other's artifacts. And I'm here to tell you, they got it so right with this. The feel of this, especially with the Rhodes for me, I just want to keep playing it.
And that piano sounds great too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
We hear the piano one more time.
Sure, absolutely.
I love the piano that's on here.
We appreciate you taking the time to go over the 7. There's lots of more information on the web. And thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate you coming on and showing us this wonderful instrument.
All right, so that was amazing. I would have told you more here, but he expresses so much and gives you all the information that you need to know in that little recording session that we did here for him demonstrating the piano. And there's basically not much more I could add to it. He's done it all. But what I did want to add to it is basically any smartphone or tablet, whether it's iOS or Android, it doesn't matter. Crumar has done an amazing job putting together an app for this. Now, it's not an app that runs specifically on iOS or on Android. Actually, I have got a Windows laptop computer over here, and I'm going to run that app over here right now. Let me get that going. All right, here we go. So basically, it can run on any platform because it is internet based. You go to it just like it's any other internet page, but you will need a Wi-Fi connection, whether it's your laptop or your phone or your tablet. It has to be able to connect via Wi-Fi to this. So when you connect, this is what you get. This is the opening screen, and you can see that you can change the tuning. And if you go ahead and click on this arrow, you can see all the different parameters that you can use. You can choose a channel from 1 to 16 or turn the transmission off. Alternate channels, send CC and send PC, sustain and volume type and memory protect, all of this stuff. You can view the MIDI CC map, and you can see it's pretty extensive over here. Okay, so while you can control a lot of things that are right here on the physical board itself, you can control a lot more things over here. Okay, now for the wavetable, this is where you have the sampled stuff, not the physical modeling or anything, but the sample stuff. You can go ahead and install new samples that you can get from their site and so on, and you can uninstall. But down here you see select piano, and edit effects. So select piano, these are the different types, and of course these are the physically modeled ones: the time piano, the reed piano, the electric grand piano, the clavinet, DX synth piano, MKS synth, and vibraphone. Now from this point on, these are all not modeled, but they are sampled. So if I choose acoustic piano, and I've got the Venice Grand that I've chosen, that's loaded into here. And I could basically play this all day. So anyway, once I have anything selected, like right now I have the Venice Grand, I can go into edit, and these are some of the different things I can play. I can modify on the sample playback, because that's what this is. This is a sample playback. I can adjust the level, the attack, the release, the filter, the velocity, the piano harp, and a couple of different sample levels. All right, now if I go into edit effects, I've got a lot more over here. All right, so I've got master effects, which is volume, bass, treble, mid, low, mid, high, and EQ. I can bypass it altogether if I want. That's the master effects. Now effect 1, I've got a switch on and off, of course. Mode, this is stereo panner. I can do the depth, the speed. Effects 2, again, off and on, and so on and so forth. And I've got control over the phaser, the delay, the amp simulator, where I have a lot more control over here too. What type? We've got twin selected right now. EQ is changeable. Digital reverb. Now, when you do reverb on a lot of these digital pianos, you get just a small little amount of what you can control. So with this one, of course, you can turn it off and on, but you get the level, you get the decay, you get the damp and diffusion, pre-delay, room size, high shelf, and low shelf. And you probably never heard of some of these if you're used to doing other digital pianos. Pads, pad level, pad blend, expression pedal, the range, and there's so many cool things with this. Now, when I hit edit on this, that's specific to the sample that I chose, and I chose the Venice Grand. So the bottom line here is basically I can have control over this piano with my smartphone. And it doesn't matter if it's iOS or if it is Android. I can use my laptop, which is actually running Windows right now. So as long as you have Wi-Fi, this will be on your Wi-Fi network. You just find it, choose it, and then go to the specific page that brings up the app. All right? So it is so much fun, actually. And that's basically all there is to it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot. And I certainly enjoyed our expert, Dave Bryce, that came in. And Dave, I can't thank you enough for putting together that video with me here at the studio. Thank you again. You have done an awesome job. Piano Man Chuck, peace out. Thanks for watching.